When you start doing the inner work, when you start to focus on that which you wish to manifest, you will start to notice signs on the external, in the outside, that start to come in that indicate your manifestation is near. And so in this video, we're going to be going over what 5 of these signs are that indicate that your manifestation is on the way, so that you can keep going down the path you're going to eventually it actually forming in the physical. That's coming up next. So before we jump into it, my name is Dave and this is HeartSpace, where I'm creating videos every single day to help you along your heart path. And for me to help, that means taking you from wherever you are now to really that dream life you have envisioned for yourself and helping you bridge the gap to that. Now, something that's going to help you is we just released our course, Rising Abundance, which you can check out down below for more information, which is going to help you really fast track your manifestation powers, being able to bring in more abundance and so on. Anyway, without further ado, let's go into what some of these signs are, how you can start bringing more of these signs about maybe if you're not experiencing them, and so on, starting in reverse order with number 5. Now, number 5 is one that we actually talk about on this channel quite a bit, and it's angel numbers. Now, you can call this numerology, divine numbers. You know, there's many different ways in which we can label this. This is not what's important, but it's when you're seeing repeating numbers or different number sequences in a way that isn't coincidental. So you're seeing them quite frequently, or you're seeing them in similar situations or with a certain similar energy, and these things will usually represent something. This will be communication and messages from usually a non-physical being communicating to you through the physical, through numbers, numerology in this case. Now, I can't go over every number here or what they represent or anything else. I have plenty of other videos on this channel that can explore what some of these numbers mean specifically, and I go over how to tell, you know, which ones apply to you in those videos. But if you're seeing a certain sequence of numbers over and over and over again to the point where you think you're going crazy, and it's like, how come I keep seeing this? I'm not artificially doing this, it just keeps showing up in my reality. It's a good sign that something's coming your way or a message is coming through. And so I would take a look at a little more information about what that represents, but that's the first one. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is a really fun one, and it's beautification of reality, of your reality. You see, when you beautify the inner world, when you start having more coherence in your inner world, which is going to be the first step towards manifesting physically. If you have a chaotic inner world, chances are, not even chances, pretty much guaranteed, you have a chaotic external world. You'll see this with a lot of people, maybe you've noticed in your own life, who are quite maybe emotionally all over the place or really chaotic from an inner world perspective, and also their physical environment is as well. Well, there's a reason for that. The outer world follows the inner. But when you start becoming more coherent in the inner world, you're doing the inner work, you're doing the meditations, you're living more consciously, the outer world by law has to become more coherent as well. This is how manifestations start coming in. And you'll start noticing the beautification, I call it, of your physical realm. Certain things are just becoming more beautiful, or you're noticing more beauty. You're seeing things start to come in more and more in a physical way. You're just noticing more things that you're just grateful for and you're showing appreciation for. You know, for myself, I saw this happening with different places I would go to. As I was continually doing the inner work, each new place I got to was just becoming more and more beautiful, to the point now where I live basically on the water. I can look outside into nature whenever I want. My commute from here to the gym, which takes about 1 minute if I want to go at normal speed, I take about 5 to 10 minutes because I just admire all of the beautiful things around. And this has been a beautification of my physical environment, because if your inner environment is like that, it'll feel incongruent to not also have that in the physical. So opportunities to start allowing that to happen will start coming in, and you'll start noticing these things. In fact, if that resonates, put in the comments, I live in a beautiful reality, and we'll move on to number 3. Number 3 is finding money or other things of value. It doesn't have to be monetary value, but other cool things just kind of randomly coming in. Again, randomly coming into your physical reality. There's a technique that I like to teach people who are on the inside of like my programs or coaching, and I've mentioned it on the channel as well. It's just a simple little technique called the penny technique. And this is basically, if you start finding pennies on the ground or any amounts of money, that you always pick it up and give thanks for it, because that is essentially the universe in one way or another bringing more of that into your reality. And you may start noticing that as you start doing this, as you start beautifying your inner world, as you start doing the manifestation techniques, you're feeling good now, all of these different things, you start to notice more of these things in your physical reality. You might find certain money on the ground. Maybe you'll find other things that are really cool, like a really cool bird's feather. That's something that's worth something to you. Let's just say something you find valuable. It could be a certain animal. For example, I've noticed I start seeing animals that are quite rare more often than not. There's a kingfisher that started suddenly appearing in my physical reality, one of my favorite birds, and it's not a bird I used to be able to see a lot. It's not one I used to get to actually observe a lot, and I'm really happy I do now because it's just so beautiful to me. It's one of my favorite birds. Anyway, I'm a bit of a geek for birds, so I will leave it there. But ultimately, you're noticing these things, and especially if it's like money or other kind of little objects that you find really cool or valuable, obviously money being one, a big one, because that's abundance literally coming into your physical. This is another sign that it's like a little hint, a preview of what's to come as far as a bigger manifestation. And what I would do when these things are coming in, give thanks for them and don't pass them by. If it's like not weird to take it, so it's like a penny on the ground, absolutely take it and give thanks for it, because turning your nose up at it is essentially turning your nose up to abundance that the universe is bringing you. The universe doesn't look at a penny and $1 million and see any difference. It just sees, oh, that's what they call money. That's money. Okay, cool. That's what they want, right? So you don't turn up your nose at any form of that, or else you're going to be conveying that energy. So my advice would be, when that happens, take it. Again, as long as it's cool to do so. Like if you see a cool object and it's someone's thing, you can't just take, like, ooh, this nice laptop appeared in my reality, I'll have that, please. It's just at a cafe and walk out. Obviously not, but I think you understand what I'm saying here. That'd be funny. So number 2, I just like to call synchronistic external messages. So this is stuff, again, on the external and the outside world. And this is when you're drawn to certain things that have messages for you. It's almost like clues to get to the next thing for yourself, where it's that perfect thing, that perfect quote that really sparks something in you that's really driving you forward. So this could be content. This could be a specific video, maybe even this video. This could be, a specific, it could be a poster you saw, had a message that sparked something in you that reminded you of something you need to be reminded of. So this is more external messages. Now, of course, we have intuitive and inner messages, and I've gone over that in a previous video, which I'll get to in a minute. But ultimately, I'm talking about the external. It's not a coincidence when you come across certain content that speaks to you at exactly what you need to hear in the moment. That is the universe doing its thing, or a certain book just comes into your reality. It's like, maybe you have a draw for something you want to manifest, and the perfect book that's going to show you the methods to do that comes your way, or the perfect course, or whatever else it is. These things don't happen coincidentally. So you're noticing these kind of external synchronicities of like, oh, I want to manifest this. Oh, the perfect course or book or teacher that's going to help me do that has suddenly popped up into my reality. Now, of course, you have to then follow through and then get into the course or start learning from the teacher or read the book or watch the video and actually apply things and everything else. But you're being led to these different things that are synchronistic to what it is you say that you want or you're aiming to bring in. And you'll find, again, even with something that seems mundane, there's no real coincidences in the universe. Your energy will dictate what starts coming in for you. And so if you, from your inner world, been like, I want to manifest more money, and then certain things about money and how to manifest it start coming up, it's not really a coincidence. You're setting that focus and intention, and you're starting to get certain things coming into your physical that are going to help you co-create that. And number 1 is people being drawn to you. Now, I don't mean just like in a romantic sense, but maybe you notice that people are just noticing you more, or people are giving you more attention. Or, this can happen in a both positive and negative way, by the way. It could be a jealousy thing, it could be an admiration thing, right? But ultimately, people are becoming more magnetic to you. Maybe they're more interested in you. Maybe it is from a more romantic side of things. And the reason for this is because you are becoming more magnetic. In order to manifest and draw things towards us, we have to become energetically magnetic. And the reason why you might start noticing people being drawn to you in one way or another is maybe they don't even know, but you're giving off an energy that is more magnetic, and people like to be around things like that. I'm sure you can think of someone in your life who was genuinely like authentically charismatic and just fun to be around. They had this really cool energy. Well, it drew people in because people love being around that kind of energy. They feel good when they are around it. Again, that will also attract people who come from the mentality of, I wish I could have this, I'm jealous of this, and so I'm going to really give bad energy towards that person, but of course you need to learn how to set boundaries and not allow for that to happen. But if you just find in general more and more people are drawn for you, they're asking you questions, they want to hang out with you, maybe there is more romantic interest, maybe you just see people even looking at you from time to time, like in this curious way, that is something that can happen when your manifestation is close. And another big sign, because again, you're becoming magnetic, and that doesn't just work for things or energy. You know, we are also energy. We are energetic beings. So you will start to notice people paying attention to you a little bit more as well. So always keep in mind that the outer world actually follows the inner world. This all starts within the inner world. Like I said, if you have a chaotic inner, you're probably gonna have a chaotic outer, and you're probably not seeing most of these signs in a positive way, at least. So check out this video next, where I actually go over 5 signs from the inner world that your manifestation is near. And usually, typically, these things you will notice first before you notice the physical stuff, because there's a lag period between the inner and outer. So go check that one out next.